West, motherfucker. It's a Tarantino movie in the West, so that's probably a line in it somewhere.
Probably.
You wouldn't know for sure.
I definitely would. Let me put my 2 cents on it right now. Welcome to the review show where 2 small town dudes give you our big dumb opinions. I'm Short of the Max Extreme.
I'm JD3K.
And we are going to be doing a flashback on another Tarantino movie to get us to even wetten the palate even more.
Yeah. If your palate's not wet yet.
My God, you'll be dripping.
Yeah. It's a soaked palate.
Of Tarantino goodness. We are going over the Hateful Eight.
Yes.
On this flashback
film
episode.
that me and Dinosaur Neil talked about because it's during a time that you were working some weird hours where you couldn't watch it in theaters.
Yeah.
Me and Dinosaur Neil went and saw it.
Yeah,
and we talked about it, and then you came back and did news.
I don't even remember what my deal was then, but I would remember coming back for this, and you guys are like wrapping it up. It was like 2 weeks in a row.
I think that was The Revenant we were wrapping.
No, like
Did we wrap for the Hateful Eight too?
No, you might have just did it for Revenant.
Yeah, I think we did a Revenant wrap. Anyways, we watched Revenant during this month, and we did the Revenant wrap.
Yeah. It was like during our Final Frontier month, I think.
Our Frontier month. Final Frontier was space.
Was the space one. That's right. You're right. So that was fun. So check out that little...
check out all those nuggets for Frontier month and Final Frontier month, even if you want to.
That's right.
As well.
So I've yet to actually see this movie, if you couldn't tell from the intro yet.
Yeah.
I've been... It's on my watch list of things to...
It's on Netflix.
Get off I know. Get off my back about it, would you? I've got a lot of things going on here.
You got a son on the way. So
I got a son on the way. I got a daughter that's always begging me to watch something else, some bullshit YouTube stuff. I always want to go to the park, so we go to the park. The park is a good park.
Well, that's nice.
There's 2 parks where we live. One is a good park, one is a bad park.
Oh, yeah.
The one that's kind of like up by your place.
That's a bad park.
That's a bad park. I went there the other day. Bad park.
They used to be the good park.
It used to be the only park.
Yeah. Well, that's what makes it good.
So by default, it was the good one.
It was the good one.
Now there's a more decent one. I mean, it's not like a big deal or anything like that, but it's got a few slides on it. It doesn't have any monkey bars.
I mean, it's whatever. There's no monkey bars on it anymore. There's monkey bars there before.
On the one by your house, there is.
Okay. There's no monkey bars down there.
No monkey bars down there.
Oh shit.
No monkey bars. Sorry, for all the park aficionados.
No monkey bars at the good park.
I know.
What the fuck?
Anyway, I go to the park a lot.
Yep. Anyways, Hateful Eight.
Hateful Eight. JT, have you watched it since this?
I think I've seen it one other time before, and it's still good. I still do like the there's like a mystery whodunit angle in like the first hour or so of this, that I really enjoy. And then I do like kind of like the reveal of what's really going on. Like they show like why things are as fucked up as they are. So yeah, it's a good Tarantino movie. It's still kind of cartoonish when they start getting to all like the murdering of it, because it's like he's still in that like frame of mind of like when you shoot someone, giant billows of blood like pile out of your body.
Sure,
but I don't know. It's still a fun movie.
Okay.
I'd probably check it out. And
good.
I can't even remember what I said in this because I was on vacation. So I just said, let's do this for a flashback. So I haven't even listened back to this review.
Oh,
so it's a mystery to me. Even
for everyone.
Yeah, I might hate this.
Very good intrigue set up for the beginning of the show.
So tune in to find out what I thought of the Hateful Eight. Like what, 3 years ago?
Yep, maybe. We did pretty early on. So enjoy the review and stay with us for the remainder of the week where we may be reviewing Once Upon a Time in Hollywood
with a guest reviewer because Troy will not be able to make it.
Probably not. Just gonna throw it out there.
You're saying probably. You keep putting in these
I just like
things
to keep
that
you on the
probably...
hook most of the time. I
I
know I'm not going to be able to see this.
I want to fit this in during, like, in between shifts.
I think if I went to go see this movie like after work and I didn't come like home to a very pregnant, very in pain wife, I would probably be killed in the street.
Okay.
By her mostly.
So come back next week for our review on Once Upon a Time in Hollywood with me and a very dead Troy. Troy to the dead extreme.
Yeah, for sure. I'll be there, dead. Extremely.
I'll just Weekend at Bernie's review it with him.
So enjoy the review coming up right now.
Right now.
Talking about, I almost said it too, ridiculous, but it's not ridiculous. It's Hateful Eight. That's right. Me and Dinosaur Neil talking about Hateful Eight right now.
Not the Ridiculous Six.
No, we did that last week, unfortunately.
Sorry, guys.
God, it was awful. Did you watch it?
Nope. I took your recommendation and didn't watch it.
Well, you are the smartest man
Thanks.
in this room.
Thank you.
Even though there's two of us.
I couldn't have done it without you.
You were tempted.
No.
You were tempted. You were looking
actually-
at it like, oh my God, maybe Adam Sandler got it right this time.
No, I didn't think that. I was more in the same lines of you guys as how far could he have gone? Like, what happens in this? And apparently not enough to warrant the watch. So I didn't watch it.
Unless you are a really big fan of a donkey that can manifest copious amounts of diarrhea at a whim.
Well, when you put it
You're
that
not
way,
missing much.
When you put it that way.
No.
Oh, no.
It's not as cool as you think it is.
Ah, shucks. Okay. All right.
But yeah, that was last week. This week, we're actually going to be talking about something that we do like, or maybe not like. Who knows? Who knows? But before we get into that, let's avoid spoilers, first of all.
Gotcha.
Some people tuning in want to know, hey, what do these guys think of it? I don't want to hear the whole thing, like the whole movie. I haven't seen it yet. I want these guys' opinion of it.
What?
So we'll
You know
do.
what? Let's let those people know.
We'll do a spoiler-free review, and then we'll get into the spoilers right after that.
Great.
So, Neil, what'd you think?
I quite liked it.
Okay. And dead air.
No, quite. Yes, I very much liked the movie. If you're a Tarantino fan, it's one you're definitely going to like, in my opinion. Funny thing, when I was walking out of the theater, like people behind me were saying like, "Oh, that really wasn't what I expected," or "That was kind of like I didn't quite get the part." And I was like, "Have you ever seen a Tarantino movie before?" Like, yeah. I didn't have any words. There's no words for him. No words.
I think I really like this one because it hits like every Tarantino trope kind of. Like the first half is like all of like his super heavy dialogue like flicks that like people bitch about all the time, where I don't know what you thought of Death Proof, but I kind of like Death Proof.
I honestly really like Death Proof. I've only seen it a couple times.
I mean, I've heard people bitch about it like all the time, and I can see their point because, yeah, it seems like it should be a lot more action than what it is. But if you go into it knowing what it is, I mean, you're going to have a good time.
Exactly. And with that, you're watching Planet Terror either right before or right after it anyway.
Yeah.
So you get all your action
You get all your action there. I mean, you're good. But, yeah, like, the first half is very dialogue heavy. And the second half is just balls to the wall, just amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty great, pretty great.
Like I was kind of like the second half is kind of like turns into like a whodunit kind of,
and that's what I
like
actually quite liked about it.
Yeah,
like the
like
whole murder mystery.
It definitely turns into like a murder mystery. Like you're trying to figure out like there's like something afoot, and they need to find out who's doing this. They don't even know. You don't even know if like the person investigating might be even behind it even.
Never know with one of these.
So
you
yeah,
never know.
It's really, really interesting.
It is similar to Reservoir Dogs in that fashion, which is my personal favorite Quentin Tarantino.
Oh yeah,
movie.
I think I'd say that's my favorite Tarantino movie of all time.
Yeah.
So far.
I would put this up there with them too. I don't know where it's hard to rank Tarantino movies.
I know
because
I think I'd still like Pulp Fiction over this. I don't know.
I like Inglourious Bastards over this.
Really?
Yeah.
But
I don't think I like Django over this.
No. I don't know. Like Django is really odd for me. Like for a long time, like I was like I don't know if I was like letting people's opinions like form mine of it, where I was like, yeah, I don't know if I like Django that much. And then I watched the other day and I was like, it's not bad.
Yeah. Well, let's just go to say that none of them are as weak as Jackie Brown.
Yeah.
Can
Although
we agree
I don't know,
on that?
I don't really hate Jackie Brown.
Fine, Joel.
Dude, Sam Jackson and Jackie Brown is outstanding.
Well, Sam Jackson in Jurassic Park is also outstanding.
You gotta get the key
Hold
codes.
on to your butts.
Gotta get the key codes.
He's pretty great in everything,
Yeah.
and he's great in The Hateful Eight.
Yes, he is. Who do you think really stood out in this flick?
Holy cow! Just about everybody. Like, definitely Sam Jackson.
Yeah.
Kurt Russell for sure, because he
What
had
the
the.
fuck? Never mind, we're good. Something just popped up. But it's fine now. We're
Porn
fine.
virus, probably.
Yep. I was watching a shit ton of porn before I got here, so
Nice.
continue.
Good work. Kurt Russell, great, because he had like the loudest character, and when I say loud, not like audibly loud, but he had what he was wearing, his like beard, his sideburns, like he was just off the wall.
Yeah.
Like he was like way over the top, and it was amazing.
He had like this ridiculous like John Wayne impression when the whole way through it too.
Yep.
Like I just got done watching Bone Tomahawk, and he's nowhere near as ridiculous in that as he is in this.
I want to see Bone Tomahawk.
Like, hey, we might talk about it on here because I think me and Troy decided that's going to be our other movie we're doing for Frontier Month.
Heyo.
So we might have already said that because this is in the past, but also in the future of what we just recorded. Just
But you
earlier.
never know. You may have said The Revenant.
Well, we're doing that too. We have to do 4 movies.
Very good.
Yeah.
Make
we are
sure you
doing
do
that.
The Revenant because it's also very good.
You have seen
But
it?
that's
You've seen Revenant?
that's for a whole different.
That's a whole different thing.
That's a different.
We're talking
this is
about
Hateful Eight.
Hateful Eight right now. Okay, the person that I thought I really liked the most out of this was like the, but just based off his story arc in general, was like that southern, like soldier guy.
The general.
No, not the general. Like the guy that they picked up in the
Second guy they picked up. Okay,
yeah.
the one who's going to be the new sheriff of Red Rock.
Yeah, he was really interesting because like it was really hard to read like what his agenda was because he was like he said he was a sheriff, but he seemed way too out there to be the sheriff.
Mm-hmm.
And then like
which just thickens the plot in this whodunit.
yeah, and like yeah, he's just like he had like these really weird like agendas. Like he would like he was super racist, but like he would also kind of like he also kind of had respect for like Sam Jackson because he was a soldier in the war.
Yep.
So like they kind of had like this tit for tat where it's like I fucking hate you, but I respect you kind of thing.
There's a lot of that going on in this movie.
Yeah.
We'll get into more of that.
Like I'd say like this movie had a lot more like in terms of like if Django was supposed to be like a movie where like it's supposed to be like the black man's revenge against like white slave owners, this is kind of like the okay, I guess we can stand each other of the whole, because it's definitely like people coming together even though they share completely different viewpoints of a certain thing based off of like something that's basically just to survive, even beyond that, just to like do what's right.
Exactly. Precisely. That's what I would have agreed to at the like how everything. It's more of doing it's all about doing what's right.
Yeah.
I guess.
Although it is pretty fucked up what they do.
It is pretty messed up, and we'll get into that.
We'll get into that.
But yeah. So like all in all, extremely good movie. Totally
Yeah.
worth a watch if you love Tarantino movies.
Yeah.
If you like period pieces, like time pieces, like it seems like nice and
Watches,
authentic.
if you like watches.
If you like if you love watches, heck, if you love a good chuckle,
If you like letters made out by Abraham Lincoln.
if you love letters to Abraham Lincoln, this is for you.
Yeah.
Definitely for you.
Definitely a word of warning though, the first half of it is pretty slow moving in terms of action.
If you're familiar with Tarantino's work, he does get talky in certain points of his movies.
Yeah.
And when I say certain points, I'm literally talking about maybe more than half of the movie.
Yeah.
But it's all worth it. It
Yeah.
all comes around.
Yeah.
and
It almost
it's
kind of
great.
made me want to watch it again because even in those moments where they're just kind of talking, like you can see like moments where like certain characters are like scanning the room and like seeing something that's off, and then they have a scene later in the movie where they kind of go back and show you how all this stuff happened.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, so that's why that was there.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's really interesting.
Agreed.
But yeah, so go see it. Anyone who hasn't seen it, anyone who has seen it, stick around because we're gonna spoil the shit out of it.
Spoil it from A to Z.
A to Z. All right. Well, we'll give everyone a chance to, turn it off
Yep.
if they haven't seen this part yet.
And this is
Seen the movie.
This us talking right now is this portion of you.
We're just
if you-
waiting, yeah.
We're waiting for
Hey,
you.
dum
to leave.
dum.
Come on.
Why don't you get out?
Hey.
Get up.
Hey, I see you.
Hey.
I
Stop sitting in your chair and being all like, I'm just gonna let him ruin it for me. I don't need to see it. No, go see it.
Yeah, go see it.
Go see it.
Why do you like
Turn
stuff
us
ruined
off.
for you, man?
Turn it off.
Go away.
Turn the fucking thing off. I'm getting pissed off right now.
Hey. All right.
Hold me back, Neil.
I've
Hold me
I
back.
have been holding you back.
This son of a bitch is staring
Oh.
at this audio device,
man.
being all like, "Fuck this!"
He's ready for it.
I'm
hey,
taking I'm
he
taking my
wants to
sweater
spoil
off.
For, if he wants to spoil it for
You
him,
want
I
to
guess.
spoil it for you?
We'll spoil it.
I'll
for
spoil
him.
it for you, asshole.
We'll
Keep sitting. I'll spoil the shit out of it for you. I don't even care anymore.
We're not even caring.
All right,
Let's do it.
fuck this
Let's
guy.
spoil this movie.
Fuck this guy over here that's like sitting, just listening to us.
What a dickhead.
Doesn't even care about if we spoil it or not.
He's like, oh, I'm just here for Troy Max Extremes news.
I don't want to get up. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
All right. So, anyways, Hateful Eight. I will. Wow. Where do we start?
Okay. We'll kind of start from how it begins. Like, it's overall like plot of the movie. I guess like it's Kurt Russell is a bounty hunter.
Yeah.
He's on a wagon trail, essentially moving to Red Rock, where he's trying to cash in his bounties.
Oh yeah.
And his bounty is Jennifer Jason Leigh.
Yeah.
Who is also a really good character in this
Oh
whole
God.
movie.
I will say, I don't justify a lot of violence against women, but she's
Holy
barely
shit.
a woman in this movie.
No, she deserves just about everything. that
Everything
comes
she's
to her.
given in this movie. She gets the shit beat out of her. I mean, we're doing spoilers, so anyone who's seen this, she's gets fucking annihilated in this movie.
Yes.
And every time someone punches her, I'm not like, "Hey, come on, man." I'm always like, "Good."
I know. She's terrible. She's
Yeah.
absolutely like despicable. But she's also funny
just
in that
bad. Yeah.
she's handcuffed to Kurt Russell's character
Yeah.
because he's not letting her out of her sight.
Yeah.
Because he is known as like the hangman or something like that. So
always
instead
always make sure that his bounties hang.
he always makes sure his bounties hang. And when they're on this wagon trail, on their way to Red Rock, they run into Sam Jackson's character, who has 3 dead bodies piled up or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like, I want to hitch a ride with you guys. And what Sam Jackson does is he kills his bounties to get the money, whereas...
Well, that's how it's usually done. They say that's how it's usually done. You just do it and forget about it.
Exactly.
You just have to haul these dead bodies and to worry about someone escaping.
Yep, precisely. But Kurt Russell ain't having none of that.
Yeah.
He
I love
wants to see
their
him hang.
line when they're in the wagon when somebody like Kurt Russell says something like, nobody said this job was supposed to be easy, and then like Sam Jackson's like, well, nobody said it was supposed to be that hard either.
That comes back and they say it like multiple times. Nobody said it had to be that all. It's pretty great. Kurt Russell's character, his like debut was hilarious, in my opinion. And first off, I laughed a lot more than like the rest of my theater was. Like I felt like bad laughing at some of the stuff I did. But anyway, Sam Jackson comes up to his carriage or whatever, and all you see is this giant long pistol stick out of the carriage window, which is like another part of his character that's extremely loud, in my opinion. Like
I love, Kurt Russell is so over the top in this.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
He's got like this giant fur coat on, and it's not like it looks like a woman's fur coat. It's hilarious,
and like a mustache where the handlebars have handlebars.
Exactly, the
so
biggest handlebar mustache,
amazing
ever. It's amazing.
But then they also run into the other guy we talked about, I think played by Walton Goggins.
Yes,
and
Sheriff Chris Mannix.
Mannix, yes, that's right. Like he was like some part of like some family too, right? They talked about like this family kind of like raised like an army after the Civil War, kind of like they're like rebels against like the Union after they lost the Civil War. Like they're still trying to fight the war even though it's over.
Yeah, they're like the Rough Riders or something weird like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Where he's just like a gang still kind of doing the South stuff from the Civil War.
But even beyond, even in that, with that fact, he's still apparently going to be the sheriff of Red Rock.
Yeah. They're so when they're introduced to him, he claims there's like he's going to be the sheriff of Red Rock, and over all of this, like they're all piling in this wagon one by one because there's a giant blizzard approaching, so they're trying to just get there as fast as possible. So, like, they let Sam Jackson on the carriage, and then they get to Mannix, and then they let him on the carriage after they do, like, some talking and whatnot, which is all, this is part of the movie that's literally all talk.
Oh, God, it's I was surprised how long they spent in that carriage, too.
A long time.
It's like almost 45 minutes they spent on that carriage.
It's pretty crazy. And the whole movie is literally like a 2-scene movie. Yeah. They are in the carriage and they're in a cabin.
Yep. That is it. Yep. Oh, what's it called? Something haberdashery.
Oh, fuck. Yeah. Minnie's.
Minnie's haberdashery.
Minnie's haberdashery is the place they have to stop because the storm gets too bad.
It's pretty much like a place. It's like a rest stop for carriages. Like,
exactly. And
like right before you get to Red Rock, like they have like coffee and soup and shit there.
All that shit.
Yeah.
Yep. So when Sam Jackson, Kurt Russell, and Walter Goggins and Jennifer Jason Leigh's character all in the carriage. Oh, and JB. JB's driving the carriage.
Good old JB.
Good old JB, who is probably one of my favorite comic relief in this whole movie.
Does anything?
He doesn't do anything, but like he always gets the shit end of the stick, and it's amazing.
He gets the worst jobs, and he bitches to himself every time.
Yeah, exactly. So they're all on this, like they're on the trail, and then they get to Minnie's haberdashery, and when they get there, they're greeted by this
Senor Bob.
Senor Bob,
probably like the most racist,
like
depiction of a Mexican I've ever seen. He's even like fucking like that when the scene where he has to like nail the door shut. He's like yelling fucking like "Open door!" Like he's like
that.
Can you be more fucking? Yeah. But go ahead.
Okay, so that brings me to probably the funniest thing, like for the longest running joke in the entire movie. So when they get to the cabin, they open the door and they keep hitting it in, and you can just hear yelling from the inside. They're just like, "You gotta hit it hard! Hit it hard!"
Yeah. No, you gotta nail it.
Yeah. So they kick the door in pretty much, and then like it's gusting wind inside, and then everyone's just like, "Shut the door!
Shut the door! You gotta nail it shut!"
Nails in there.
And then they like nail a board, and then it breaks open again. Like, no, you gotta have two. Gotta nail two in.
And all of this while they're just yelling. Everyone in the room is yelling at them.
And like whoever's doing it, it's like swearing to themselves. Son of a bitch!
Yeah, damn it! Put it to board. It's pretty great. And that
Yeah.
happens probably 5 or 6 times in the whole
it's at least
movie.
3 or 4 times.
And every time
they're
it's
always-
shut the damn
Yeah.
door.
And every time is just as
No,
long.
the
as
latch is
first.
broken. Like, yeah, they
Yeah.
literally show them the whole thing. Them
Yeah.
even nailing 2
They don't
pieces
even-
of
yeah.
wood in to keep this
Even
door
though you
from
know, you get the idea. They keep it just as long.
Yep.
The last time it happens.
flying. And it doesn't get any less funny. It only gets more funny.
Oh my god, I was losing my shit every time that happened. Like I was like, even when they were like in the cabin, I was like, "There's still 2 more people outside. They're gonna do this shit again, aren't they?"
Yeah, the same thing.
Sure enough.
Of course. Sure enough, that's what happened when JB and those and Senor Bob put the horses away. They do the exact same thing.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you got the 2 pieces of wood. Oh my god.
But yeah, and then yeah, a lot of talking after that, like a lot of like character development and shit. I was a really big fan. The one thing I like the most about Sam Jackson in this is like he has like this like quality about him where like he's like takes pride in like getting people to like bring their defenses down and then like almost like getting them to do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Because the ongoing thing in this, with that there being like he claims that he has this letter written to him by Abraham Lincoln, and it's part of the reason why he gets picked up in the first place is that Kurt Russell met him like a couple months ago, and he told him about this letter and actually let him read it. And the reason he picked him up again was so they could read the letter again.
Yep.
And then
Kurt
when
Russell
they get
loves the letter.
oh yeah, I love it. Like he's like reading it and he's like all like teary eyed and he's like, oh, Mary Todd's calling to bed.
Mary.
Like he's so fucking weepy eyed over this shit. And then when you find, and then it's done so matter of fact that they're like eating stew, and then like the guy's like, and then like the fucking like Southern soldier guy's like, so Warren, that letter, that's bullshit, right? Oh hell yeah, it is. And then like Kurt Russell just looks like he fucking just kicked a baby. Like,
Oh my god. Kurt Russell's been never been more pissed in his whole life. Once he finds out that letter was fake.
I just love how it was revealed because it was done so matter of factly.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't even like a big dramatic scene where it's like, of course it's fake and like da da da.
Nope.
It's just like, oh yeah, that shit's fake.
That shit's fake. So all of this is like, as we were saying, it's essentially a big murder mystery because, and all of this stuff is like every character.
Well, before we get into that, like
Yeah.
why I was bringing up like how like Sam Jackson, like this quality about how he likes like making people like do what he wants.
Yeah.
That whole scene when he's telling that one general about how he like tortured his son. Like there's no way that story's true.
No way. And
But-
that's the thing about Sam Jackson's
And it's so
character.
good because he just revels in the fact that like he doesn't even have to tell you if it's true or not. He knows what to tell you to be like, fuck this guy, or oh my god, I love this guy.
Yeah, you literally he could be lying the whole time.
Yeah.
But you don't know that for sure
Yeah.
because at first you think like he's the only honest person in the whole movie.
Yeah.
And then
You find out he's like the biggest liar.
he's the biggest liar in the whole movie too.
Cause you could tell like the minute he meets that general guy, he's like, I'm gonna fucking kill this motherfucker.
Yeah, he totally
he's
is.
like the roughest, like oldest, like meanest, most racist guy there.
Yep.
And he's just so fucking like mean about everything, like the war and everything. So like
Yeah.
Sam Jackson's just takes his pistol out, puts it right next to his fucking chair, and then just starts telling this elaborate story about how he met his son and made him strip naked and walk through the snow. And then when he begged for relief, he told him that he'd give him a blanket if he sucked his dick, and he did.
Not to mention all of this is shown. Everything like this.
They
He's
they
telling
show
this
this.
story, and he's like, "I'll walk that guy through the snow, butt ass naked."
Yeah.
And he asked for a blanket, and I said, "I'll give you a blanket if you
suck
suck
my
my Johnson."
Yeah.
And he calls it his dingus, his Johnson. He has so many slang names like that big black dingus running down his throat. It was so great.
yeah, and it's
he's like,
just so
you know
good.
what I didn't even give him that blanket.
Yeah, like it's so good. He just knew exactly what to say to set him off to where he actually reached for the pistol, and then he knew he was a way sharper draw than him, and then just fucking gunned him down.
Yep.
And no one could do anything because it was self-defense.
It's wasted
Like,
his ass.
oh man, like that was like a perfect like Tarantino scene where it's just like it plays out very very slow. Like you can kind of see where it's going, but it plays out very slow and like very methodical. Where you're like, fucking try and shoot him already.
Yeah. And then it ends abruptly by Sam Jackson blowing him away.
It's so good. Have you ever seen the movie 4 Rooms?
No, I have not seen that one.
Well, like a Tarantino, like it's all the whole movie is like basically 4 directors direct like 4 like miniature stories that all take place in the same hotel, but they take place in 4 different rooms. And
Nice.
Tarantino directs like the last scene, and the last scene is all about it's like just pretty much just bullshit of just these guys partying, and it ends with like one of them like betting another guy that he couldn't cut his own finger off. And it all builds up to that scene. Like, the whole scene just builds up to the guy finally cutting his finger off. But it's done so slowly and so methodically where you're like, I want to see this motherfucker cut his finger off, like, right now. But it's so good.
That's what Tarantino's
like, that's kind of what it
great
reminded me. That's what kind of what this scene reminded me of, where it's like, you know where it's going. Just fucking do it already. But they know, like, the best way to just draw the suspense where you're just like, oh, I want to see fucking shoot him.
Yeah. Exactly. I'm going to go ahead and say that in this whole... I'm going to get into more of the characters that are in Minnie's haberdashery here in just a second.
go for it.
But Kurt Russell's character is literally the only one that isn't, like, trying to get the dupe on somebody. He just wants to see this girl hang.
He's just there to do his job.
Exactly.
He's like, I'm fucking stuck here with a bunch of assholes. Well, no, I wouldn't say. Well, him and Sam Jackson kind of have this understanding where it's where it's like because he has like a bounty that's like worth, like the bodies that Sam Jackson has together are worth 8,000, and this one chick is worth 10,000.
Yeah.
So he's like, I'll protect your 8 if you protect my 10. So
That's
they kind of have
true.
like this like
they have that
they
understanding.
have this like
going
partnership
on.
together.
It's true. So once they inside this cabin that they all end up arriving at, like there's the 4 people in the carriage and the carriage driver, and then inside Minnie's haberdashery you find Senior Bob, who greets him outside, and then inside is the old general that who got blown away by Sam Jackson.
Yeah.
And then there is
Super British Tim Roth.
Super British Tim Roth, which I'm glad they used Tim Roth because they could have easily used Christoph Waltz there.
The whole time he was doing that character, I was seeing Christoph Waltz.
And for some reason, I'm super glad they used Tim Roth over Christoph
I love
Waltz.
Tim Roth.
He's great, and he's like one of the original Tarantino guys.
Yeah.
You know, it was nice.
I
to
always
see
kind of want to see Tim Roth in more stuff.
Exactly.
Like I was happy Michael Madsen was in this.
Yeah, Michael Madsen is like the perfect character for Michael Madsen, like a gruff cowboy wrangler.
Yeah, just hunches over in the back, doesn't even say anything. Like you're almost too scared to even say anything to him because you don't even know what he's gonna do.
Yep. And that's who Kurt Russell is mostly concerned about once he arrives, because he's unsure about that guy, Michael Madsen's character in the corner, because he doesn't say anything and all that stuff. Was there one other guy in there or not? Am I missing somebody? I don't think I am.
I'm trying to think.
No.
I think that's all of them. That's all that you see it in the beginning.
Yep, that's right. So that's all that happens there. And there's just a lot of chit-chat going around through the building. And this is where people all start getting, like, suspicious of each other for the most part. It's just great. Some great dialogue and storytelling.
And the action really starts to pick up right when someone poisons the coffee. Which, Jesus Christ.
Oh, yeah. So
you can't just poison somebody in Tarantino movie. You have to, like, give them something that makes them violently vomit blood.
Yeah, just so much blood being puked up.
God.
It's wonderful. Yeah, so, like, there's a lot of emphasis on this coffee pot. Like, they all love drinking coffee, and someone ends up poisoning the coffee. And at that point, it's hilarious because it goes into the only, like, speech that Tarantino has as, like, a narrator.
Yeah.
it goes into like, and as like they were sitting there, like Jennifer Jason Leigh's character looks over and just smiles because she saw someone had poisoned the coffee. Like he gets kind of like all sinister about it.
It's
and all
done
of that
so.
stuff.
Yeah, it's done so like 1920s, like who done it?
Yeah.
It's like, someone has poisoned the coffee.
Poisoned the coffee. So the coffee's been poisoned, and Kurt Russell, of course, he has some. And
Kurt Russell and old
JB.
Oh, poor JB.
Poor JB has some too. And they both just start vomiting blood so hardcore.
God.
Even in Jennifer Jason Leigh's face. Like,
Yeah. As if she doesn't look awful enough as it is.
yeah, she looks like she has all of her teeth knocked out because I think she's been elbowed in the face.
Well,
And,
no,
like,
Kurt Russell starts beating the shit out of her because he realized that she like helped poison him, so he starts beating the piss out of her.
That's right.
Like punching her in the face a whole bunch of times when she like loses a bunch of
starts
teeth,
spitting up teeth and stuff.
and then she like grabs his gun and just like fucking just unloads on him.
Yep, just shoots him a ton. And then she's chained to his dead body, which is hilarious, so she can't like move anywhere.
Yeah, like the last thing Kurt Russell did before he found out he was poisoned was that he handcuffed himself to her.
Yep.
To where she was just like, nah! Like, she was, like, fucking fighting it so much.
Yeah.
And then, so then it kind of turns into, like, a whole, like, detective thing that's kind of led by Sam Jackson, where he's kind of, like, interrogating everybody.
Yeah, he totally, like, puts them all up against the wall
And,
or whatever.
and the first one to go is old Senor Bob. Off of the most racist thing ever, where that Minnie was, like, because Senor Bob claimed that he was put in charge by Minnie to take care of the place while she was gone.
Yep.
But Sam Jackson knew that Minnie hated Mexicans.
She even had a sign
she
in
had
her place that said no Mexicans and no dogs.
Yeah.
And they're like, why'd they take down the sign? Because they allowed dogs. Like, it's so racist.
It's so
also, since we're spoiling it for you, you probably know, but there's also tons of N-words.
Lots of N-words.
Lots of N-words.
Not as much as Django, I think.
No,
like,
I don't think as much
I don't
as
think it
Django.
felt as weird in this one as it did in Django. Like, there was a
No.
time in Django where, like, I felt kind of like, oh, they're kind of overdoing it. But here it was kind of like, everyone who kind of used it was kind of like their mentality.
Yeah, yeah.
Like the one, like the Walton Goggins, like he said it a couple times just because like he's a fucking like a Confederate, like
pretty much
freedom fighter.
Yeah. And then the old general,
and the old
said
general
a
used
lot,
it a whole
too.
bunch. And I
Yep.
think,
and then everyone else used it like once. Only.
yeah, once or twice. I don't think Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell said it once in the very beginning.
Okay, yeah. But I
Yep.
think he kind of used it as like a means of like saying that other people say it.
Yeah, pretty much.
So
like,
it's like, yeah, like anyone who really overuses it, it's kind of in their character. So it didn't really feel so weird.
yeah. Well, back to Senor Bob and his unfortunate mess. So
God.
like it ends up like he turns around and he's like, "Oh, you think I pours the coffee or whatever?"
Oh, Senor, go.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, God, he's so racistly portrayed in this. Like, is the guy that plays him even Mexican?
The guy who plays him might be Mexican. I can't even pronounce his name. Damian Bircher.
That doesn't sound Mexican at all.
No, it doesn't.
Like, he's just like, oh, you cabron. Like, just fucking, like, using any kind of... Oh, okay, yeah, he kind of... Yeah, I can see that.
He
then.
might be.
I
don't
think
know.
he is.
He could be.
But, oh my God, it's so over the top.
Yep. Well, he gets his head blown off, like,
Yeah.
big time. Like, double...
With two bullets.
Like, he's lying on the ground because he's got, like, shot, like, a bunch of times in the
Yeah.
back or something like that. And he's, like, on the ground, and Sam Jackson stands over him and shoots him twice in the head with two guns, like, at the same time.
Yeah.
And his head literally explodes.
It explodes, yeah. Which was definitely over the top, but they do kind of, like, do it... They use it for, like, a purpose as kind of like a negotiating tactic in the end.
Yes.
Because, like... Well, like, in the end, when, like, everything's kind of revealed, they do try and, like, play it off for, like, oh, well, you can, like, use him as a bounty because there's a bounty on him, and it's like, well, you can't because his fucking head's gone.
Yeah. Face completely missing.
Yeah.
So gone. So now that Sam Jackson has him taken care of, he's got like Tim Roth character, Michael Madsen, and like somebody else up against the wall.
I think that's just it. I think
Or maybe
that's
it would just be them two
Yeah,
at this moment.
yeah.
So it's
'Cause
just
the
Tim
other
Roth
guy-
and Michael Madsen. He's still wondering who poisoned the damn coffee.
Yeah.
And it ends up Michael Madsen turns around and he's like, poison the damn coffee.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, Sam Jackson gets shot in the nuts through the floor.
Yeah. Yeah, he's just nuts just totally destroyed.
Yep.
And then I think Walton Goggins, Walton Goggins is on his side here at this point because Sam Jackson knows that he's on the up and up because he almost drank it right when Kurt Russell and JB start vomiting blood violently.
Yep.
So he knows that he's not behind this. So they're kind of working together to interrogate these guys. And then Sam Jackson shot in the nuts from underneath the floorboards, and then I think Walton Goggins is shot in the leg.
Yep.
There's this big shootout where I think the only one that wasn't really hurt at all was Michael Madsen.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And then from there they do a flashback to kind of show where pretty much everyone except for the old general I think was in on it that was at the cabin.
Yep. So at that point it kind of it does do a flashback. So it's earlier that day, and it just shows who Michael Madsen character is and Tim Roth, and they're all part of this Dahmer gang or whatever it is. They're all part of this gang that arrived at the cabin beforehand because they knew that Jennifer Jason Leigh's character was going to be there. And they were going to get her back.
Yeah, they knew she was coming. She was going to Red Rock to be hung, and they knew that the stagecoach was probably going to take a stop there because that's the last stop before Red Rock.
Yep.
But they didn't know that Sam Jackson and Walton Goggins were going to show up with them.
Yep.
So they had to kind of formulate a plan around that while trying to figure out how to free her. So that's why it took them so long.
Yeah.
And the guy underneath the floorboards was Daisy Domergue's brother, who ends up being Channing
Tatum.
Which wonderful. I didn't hate him in this.
No,
I liked
it. Great.
Yeah, I liked him.
He didn't have a huge role.
Yeah.
Because he ended up getting his head blown off. Like most people in this movie.
I think everyone who's shot in this bleeds on Jennifer Jason Leigh somewhat.
Yeah, yep.
Everyone's blood just flies onto her.
And I think his death was one of the funniest ones because he shot up through the floorboards. There's a hidden crawl space. Yeah. And everyone's all right, you gotta throw your guns up and you can cut come on, put your head up here. And he throws his guns up, he sticks up, and it's Channing Tatum, and you're just that's amazing.
Yeah.
And then he his sister is still alive, and they were just about to kill her if he didn't come up. So he comes up and he's talking to him, and he just turns around and gives the biggest longest smile to his sister. He's I finally got you, I found you. And then they get his they shoot his head off,
annihilate him. Yeah.
And then his blood and brains go all over.
From that point on, from the point when they start actually pretty much just annihilating this gang. I really liked it because they're definitely, they know they're fucked. Both of them know they're fucked. They're stuck in this cabin for 2 or 3 days for sure. No one's going to come and get them, and there's no way they're going to live to the point where they haven't bled to death because fucking. Yeah, even Walton Goggins with his fucking leg, his leg is bleeding awfully.
It looks awful. Yeah, it's gross.
He's using a chair as a walker to get around.
Yep.
Even though there's blood there's just blood coming off his leg.
And Sam Jackson's nuts shot off, and he's bleeding.
And he's just laying. He's laying in a bed. Yep. It's these two very debilitated guys, trying to establish martial law in this cabin. Of everyone else is almost kind of able-bodied. It's just that those two have guns and they don't.
Exactly. Yeah, it was planned out ahead of time by and this is probably really hard to follow if you're just listening to this but you have to see it. It's literally laid out just like this. You got to watch carefully, but shit, what's his Kurt Russell's character is suspicious like right away and takes like everyone's guns pretty much right away.
Yeah.
So only Sam Jackson has guns anymore because he trusts him.
Yeah.
So that's why they would have guns at the end. And that kind of also comes around that like Sam Jackson still and Walter Goggins' character are still like, you know what? We've got Daisy Domergue and like Kurt Russell, he was going to take her to get her hanged. Well, let's see her get hanged.
Yeah.
And they like, she's like all injured and stuff, and they end up just like both way injured, take the time and all the energy to hang her anyway, and they do.
Like at the very end when, pretty much everyone else has been completely wasted away. Like, I think Tim Roth got like shot earlier and was like already just dying in the corner, and then
Yep.
I think there's like a gun underneath the table that Michael Madsen reached for, and they got him before.
Yep.
And then there's a really like awesome scene when they're like they're trying to figure out what to do with her, and like Walton Goggins gets on this like huge monologue about something. I can't remember what it was, and then out of nowhere he's just like, "Oh, I lost a lot of blood," and just passes out. And so it's like they have
It was,
like this
like, about
awesome
how he's gonna,
like out of nowhere they have this awesome suspenseful scene where Sam Jackson's out of bullets, Walton Goggins is passed out, and like Daisy Domergue's got this fucking like hatchet and is like hacking away at fucking
Kurt Russell's
arm, cuts his arm off and starts crawling over to get a gun, and like Sam Jackson can't do anything because he's stuck in bed.
Yep.
Like it was like out of nowhere, like fucking like they had the upper hand the whole time, and then because of one incident, they're just like, oh shit, they're fucked.
Yeah, totally. I thought it was going to be
Yeah,
over from there.
I was like, holy shit, what's gonna happen?
Sam Jackson is like useless. He's just lying in bed, out of bullets. He can't go anywhere because his nuts are shot off.
Yeah.
Walter Goggins passed out on the floor from blood loss, and Daisy Domergue's about to like get a gun or whatever.
Yeah.
So you're
Oh,
like,
it's so
damn
good.
it, this is how it's
Yeah.
going to end.
And then he comes to
Psych.
like,
Not happening.
comes to like right before she grabs the gun.
Yep.
And like puts a few in her. And then that's when they decide that they're gonna fulfill the dying wishes of Kurt Russell. God, what the fuck was Kurt Russell's character's name in that?
Character's name.
It was something cool too.
Oh yeah, it was.
It was like John something. John Ruth.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yep.
When John Ruth the hangman
When
gets
John
you.
Root, the hangman gets you.
But yeah, so then they decide that their last act on this earth is to fulfill the wishes of
The hangman
John Ruth and hang her in the fucking cabin.
Yep. And they totally
And
do
it's
it.
yeah,
The
and
hanger.
it lasts for a while. Like
It's-
you watch her hang.
Yep. It
and
lasts about as
die.
long as a real hanging would, I reckon.
Yeah, yeah, it lasts for a while.
Yeah. So once she's like all hanged out and dead,
Yeah.
like they just start palling around by the bed because they know
Yeah.
they're like we're
yeah.
trapped for like 3 more days. There's like we're bleeding to death.
They're
and
pretty
just
much
like,
they know they're like near death, and then the Walton Goggins has to read the letter.
Yeah. He's
And then they
I
like
don't care if it's fake.
yeah.
I want to read that
Yeah.
letter. And he has the same reaction at the end as Kurt Russell does.
He was just like, hey, Mary Todd, eh? That's a nice touch. Like,
Yes, it was.
but I like that scene because it was like they, like, through like even like the very beginning when they meet each other, they fucking hate each other. Like
Yeah.
they are just like trying to find different ways, just like throw spurs at each other when they're like talking.
They're going to kill each other before
Yeah.
that even happens.
Yeah, even because the scene when they first get to the cabin and like Walton Goggins like meets up with the old general guy, like he fucking loves him. Like he's like palling around with him, like, oh my god, you're a legend, and they're like having this talk and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And like Sam Jackson's just like the whole time he's doing that, he's like plotting ways to kill this general without being hung. So it's like they have every reason to hate each other, but this like one instance where like they're the only people that can lead to this woman actually getting what she deserved. Like
Yep.
it kind of brought them together, and they even like it's like they're like the closest people in their lives. They're like they're dying together.
Oh,
like
yeah.
how can you get more close than that?
Can't. I don't think so anyway.
Yeah, and it was I really like I really like the ending to this movie a lot. Just
The ending was
based
great.
off of that. Yeah.
Good like character development all the way through, and like it
Yeah.
all kind of made sense on how it ended.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like it wasn't like a Reservoir Dogs ending where everyone just dies.
Well, everyone does die.
Exactly. They all just die because they all shoot each other. Like it. And even though you know they're gonna die at the end from blood loss, like they don't show that or anything, but you're like, it's kind of like a happy ending almost.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice.
I don't know. Tarantino always he seems to like have like this ongoing theme throughout, like especially like his later movies where he's like, it's always like honor above like death and stuff.
Yeah.
Like there's always like characters that are just like they go into situations where they know they're going to die, but it's like they need to do it for themselves, kind of. Like, Inglourious Basterds does that, where it's like they just go into this theater and, like, even though they know it's going to blow up, they just keep fucking firing.
Yep.
And all these Nazis,
Hitler
it's
in
like,
the face a
fuck
ton.
this shit, yeah. When else am I going to be able to shoot Hitler in the face? I'm going to stay here till he's... And then, like, stay here and just, like, turn his fucking face into coleslaw.
Yeah. So great. Django, same thing,
Yeah.
pretty much. Against all odds, he comes in and, like, just kills the guys and saves his wife.
Or like
Broomhilda.
even the bounty hunter, like Christoph Waltz, like the whole movie, he's just driven crazy by all the slavery stuff. Where it's like he can't take it anymore, and he knows that once he fucking kills fucking that what's his name in it?
I don't recall. I don't remember what
Like
his
the
name is.
Calvin Candy, yeah.
Yep.
Once he knows that he kills him, that he's dead, but he's like, I can't leave here, knowing this guy's still alive. I need to do something.
Yep.
Like Tarantino's been, like it seems like an ongoing thing in like all of his movies, where it's just like people don't
Kill
care.
Bill's the same.
Yeah, like people don't care if they die or not. They need to carry out
do
this
the right thing.
Yeah, they do it right by themselves, kind of
Yep.
in that sense.
Yeah.
Like, and this definitely stays that same theme.
Agreed.
So yeah, all in all, I really enjoyed it.
I quite enjoyed it too. If you had to rank it among like Tarantino movies, would you say top 3?
I don't know if I'd say top 3.
I don't think I would either. Because I was listing them out the other day. I was like, so I'd probably do like, I don't know, Inglourious Bastards, Reservoir Dogs, like up and down. And I listed like 6, and then my wife goes, what about Kill Bill? And I was like, damn it, I forgot all about those.
Yeah.
So I had to throw my list out the window.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, it's hard, but
Yeah.
it's amazing.
It's definitely up there though.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
As did I. Hateful Eight, I give it a best movie ever award. I guess.
All right. You just talked about how there's all these things that are better than it, but okay.
Best movie ever. I don't know. Just go see it. It's really good.
All right. Yeah. I definitely a fuck ton better than Ridiculous 6.
Jesus.
It was so bad. Don't even try to watch it.
I won't.
Good. Very good.
But should I?
No. Don't.
Okay, I won't.
Don't.
I bet you this guy over here will, the one who's sitting wanting this whole thing spoiled for him. He sat there.
I bet he did too,
Well,
that asshole.
asshole.
I bet he watched Ridiculous 6 and was like, I'm just gonna sit around and I'm just gonna listen. I don't need to watch Hateful Eight. I'm pretty sure I got the whole synopsis off Ridiculous 6.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna
Is there
listen to their
donkey
review.
shit in this one?
Yeah. Is there donkey shit in Hateful Eight? I don't want to watch. There's no donkey shitting.
What an asshole.
Fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy indeed.
All right.
Hateful Eight. Watch it. It's real good.
It's real good.
Treat yourself.
Yes.
Hey, thanks for listening. If you want to join us on social media, do so at ReviewReviewPod on Twitter. If you happen to be a Facebooker, do that ReviewReviewPod on Facebook. You can find us at our host site at reviewreviewpod.podbean.com, but you don't have to listen to just there. We are also on a multitude of platforms such as Google Podcasts, Alexa devices, Stitcher, and Apple Podcasts. If you happen to be an Apple user, rate and review us there, because if you like the show, that helps other people find the show as well. If you want to write in, do so at reviewreviewpod@gmail.com. Thanks for listening again. We'll see you next time.
And we're off.